Hey loved ones, thank you so much for tuning in today. I am Japelle, your host for the Japelle TV Show. This is the show where we talk about relationships, love, sex, entrepreneurship, a little bit of spirituality, and everything in between.
Yes.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Japelle TV Show. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me. Again, welcome. Here we talk about relationships, love, sex, business, entrepreneurship, a little bit of spirituality, and everything in between. So again, thank you so much for being here today. As I've told you guys before, I love just connecting with people in my community that are doing something like entrepreneurs or whatever they're doing. Like, I just want to connect with people and create a community, right? So I like to bring on guests, and today I have a beautiful, amazing, wonderful, magical, all the fucking things guest, Hannah. Hannah is here with us today. Thank you so much for joining us, Hannah. She is the owner of LearnToLoveHolistics.
Yes.
Okay. Hannah, tell us a little bit about LearnToLoveHolistics.
Okay. Well, first off, thank you for having me here. I'm really excited. I'm nervous, but we're here.
Oh, yes. We need to get it done.
LearnToLove is a holistic company that focuses on self-love development, essentially through three factors that I'm very passionate about, which is nutrition, mental health, and fitness.
Praise God.
And so essentially, when you come to train with me, I like to touch points on all of those factors. I don't like to call myself just a personal trainer. I'm very big on calling myself more so of a life coach, because fitness is not the end all be all, you know. It really starts with nutrition is number one for me, mental health, and then fitness, all in that order. And so that's what that is. I'm kind of in the middle of developing a higher level to LearnToLove right now. I'm going to be launching online training very soon, within the next week or two.
Yes.
So that's the next big step for me. But yeah, that's pretty much the basis of it. I'm going to be doing a lot more focus on spirituality and mental health healing within these online programs. I feel a calling more towards that right now than anything else.
Yes, praise God. Like I told you guys on my last episode, where I was talking about self-care and divine timing. Like literally, like I reached out to Hannah, like we kind of been like in contact here and there, but it's just divine timing too. I just always felt like I was supposed to be connected to you, or we were supposed to do something, but divine timing. And this was like the most perfect time. As I told you guys, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and Hannah was one of the first people that I reached out to for all of these services, right? I talked about just being in the right mental space and self-care and really taking care of yourself. And honestly, all of those components, not just working out, everything is a component in that, like health and spirituality or mental health. Like everything is really like, it just comes full circle.
Right.
Everything has to do with one or the other. So
yeah, it all starts with your mental health, honestly. Really having a positive outlook on your future with that, especially trying to make the decision and have the discipline to go to where you need to go.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank you for being here during this journey of mine that I'm just getting into and starting. Hannah does know that obviously I have breast cancer, but I have personally used Hannah's services, and her juices are fucking delicious. Like they're so good. Like,
thank you.
And it's all just fruits and vegetables, right? And I mean, it just tastes so good.
I'm glad that you like them.
I love them, and I even let other people try. I'm like, try. Yeah. They're like, oh, those are your juices. I'm like, yeah, it's good. And they're like, oh, let me try. I'm like, try. It's really good. And everybody's like, oh, it's so good. So a lot of great feedback.
I love it.
And I just like how you like check into like you periodically, like that life coach you were talking about. Like you like to offer that. You're checking in with me periodically. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Like I love that, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my little soul for doing that, because it's needed. Like you know, my doctor was talking about when she was giving me my options, going over my options, she was like, you need a team, you need like support. And I'm like, what do you need? I mean, like I need a support group, or what does she call it? A support system.
Yeah.
She said a support system. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm so independent, you know what I mean? Honestly, like I do a lot of shit myself and for myself. Like, and if somebody can't like babysit my son or do something for me, I'm like, fuck it, I just figure it out. So when she's like saying support, you have to have a support, I'm like, the fuck she mean? Like, what the fuck she mean? And so, you know, that's one of the pieces, like having someone like you there, like just checking in periodically, like that goes a long way, even though like we don't see or speak to each other a lot. Like just those little moments mean a lot, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Of course.
So technically, I guess you are part of my support team.
I'm the support system.
You're part of it. So again, thank you so much. And where can they find you on social media or?
So I have 2 pages. My personal is Learn to Love Queen. And then I have Learn to Love Holistics, which is the business Instagram. I have a website that is still under construction, but it does have a main page that you can go on and see a lot of details, and that's LearnToLoveHolistics.org. And that's pretty much the most stuff I have right now.
Yeah, and she's so good. Let me tell you how fucking good she is. I'm going to show you guys. She created a whole chart, like body mass, height, weight, everything, every detail that you need to like come up with a good meal plan for your body type. She did it, and it looks it's so professional, and it's a reasonable price too. So yeah, hands down. Yes, like please reach out to Hannah. Like if you are ready for that life change, really ready to fucking level up mentally, health wise, and spirituality wise, everything, please reach out to Hannah, because she also does yoga as well. So again, all of her services comes full circle. So if you're ready to level up, like
in any way,
right, in any way, like honestly, like I don't know, like. And I don't want to talk down to anybody. If you're not ready for that change, like, so be it. But me personally, like, life forces you to slow down.
Yeah.
Like, and like I was saying in my last episode, like, I went through all of the emotions, like, mad at myself because sometimes I'll, like, go vegan. Sometimes I'll eat healthy, and then sometimes I won't. It's like, how come I can't stick to that? Like, and now life is forcing me to stick to that. Like, I have to stick to a better diet. You know what I mean? If I want to heal my body and become a better person, and if I want to continue to live, you know, we can't keep putting all those fucking toxins and processed foods and all the like meat or animal products and all of that shit is just not healthy for us. So life really forces us to slow down, and I'm very thankful that I caught this early on, and it's treatable, and that I have someone like you. So thank you so much for being here. And speaking of community and all of those things, like Hannah and I were talking about, we're in talks of creating I don't even know what to call it. I guess like a women's retreat, like a sacred circle, just a women's retreat.
A secret circle.
Secret circle. Way more fun. I know, right? Secret circle. I think because I was trying to come up with like a different name, like the Rising Goddess, or just something nice, you know, instead of just like a woman's retreat. Yeah. Oh, woman's retreat. No, we need like a really cool name. So maybe like a sacred circle, maybe like the Rising Goddess, something. We'll come up with it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, do you want to touch on a little bit about like what we're wanting to do with that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's so much that I feel like we have planned, but initially what we have right now is having like a 2-day event where we have one day that's focusing on spiritual growth and healing and really education behind how to do those things within your life, your baths. And we also talked about other, just like I said, spiritual cleansing, things like that. And then the second day we could do something that involves fitness, relationship coaching.
Yes. Relationship coaching.
Which is like a huge one. I feel like when we were talking about it, and to this day, I'm just like, we need that. I feel like a lot of women especially
absolutely
need that.
I completely agree with you with that, the relationship part for sure. I think the relationship part is like a big one, and then also the business part I feel like is a big one. So we also wanted to touch on business as well. So there's a lot of people out there that are kind of like lost when it comes to the basics of starting a business, you know, just even registering your business with the state, you know, just little things like that. I feel like we want to go over because some people are lost when it comes to that. So we want to educate the women who are, you know, needing these services or just kind of like kind of clueless about where to start. We just want to help you out with all of these things, because again, everything comes full circle.
Yeah.
You have to be in the right state of mind, the right health, to be able to run your own business and running around like we both do. You have to be, in a right place to do that.
Yeah.
So again, everything comes full circle. Well, let's talk about relationships too, because I think the last time we had lunch or brunch, whatever you want to call it, we were talking about relationships, and you brought up a really important question you asked me. Mm-hmm. And I believe it was, what was the question? Can you be in a relationship, or no, how do you know if you're healed if you don't go into a relationship? How do you know if you're healed enough to be in a relationship if you don't go into a relationship? I feel like that was a really good question, because I was in a place before my last relationship. I've been going through therapy like for over 2 years now.
Yeah.
And so I was telling my therapist, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to date. And this guy was pursuing me, and I was like, I just don't know, like, I don't even know if I just honestly didn't feel like I was ready. Mm-hmm. But she was like, oh, I think you're ready. Like, you've done so much progress. You've grown so much, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. And then this guy over here is pressing me, like, and he had his shit together. I thought he had his shit together, okay? Listen, ladies, just because a man has a business and owns property and has money in the bank account and is financially stable does not mean that he's emotionally stable, okay, mentally ready for a relationship. Anyway, so, but that question was good because, like, again, it just brought me back to that moment where I was like, do I want to be in a relationship again? I don't feel like I'm ready, and then I jumped into it anyway because I kind of psyched myself out, like, you are ready, like, you've grown so much, you're ready, like, let's just do it. And I feel like I was ready and I was mentally ready, but he wasn't. He wasn't. And it just brought on a lot of emotional trauma that I feel like I'm still right now sitting here, like, going through and having to fight through. And I'm going to therapy, about it. And therapy helps so fucking much. But, but again, like, just because a man is financially stable and all those things, like, they can be emotionally torn up, What have been your experiences? Because that question clearly came from somewhere.
Yeah, no facts. I think it's really important when you're dating to really slow down and really understand where the person's mindset is at, like, over time. In this relationship that I'm in right now, I've really learned that, like, a lot of my past relationships, I rushed into it really quickly because I want love so badly.
Right.
I think as women, we especially do that. We're just like, okay, we're here, But as far as my personal healing with this situation, that question I brought up with you is because the person that I was talking to was telling me things that I needed to work on, essentially. Like, we had been through some things that had brought up some triggers for myself. And he initially told me, like, I don't know if you're ready to, like, be in a relationship and be loved by somebody. And I was like, you're kind of... Yeah,
you have to be ready to be loved by somebody.
But
I guess to receive the love, I guess.
Yeah, to be open enough to receive it in a healthy way. Yeah. Because when you come from toxic, you're like, what is love? What is real love? You know?
You have to relearn.
Yes. And I think that was the biggest thing where that question came from. Because I was like, okay, true. Like, am I ready to really receive this love and reciprocate it healthily? Healthily, that's my word. Whatever.
I know what you mean.
But at the same time, like, just with any new situation, you're never really prepared for it. Like, you have to learn it, know?
Correct.
And so for me, I was like, okay, you're right, but, like, if you love me, you'll help me learn correctly. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I can be single for 10 years and then get into a healthy relationship finally and it's just magically perfect. I'm like, great, this is great. No, I'm still gonna, like, question you and be like, this is weird. Like, I don't know what this is.
Right.
And so I think that's where that question came from. I was just really like, maybe I'm wrong, Like, maybe
no,
I'm just,
because how do you know you're gonna get triggered? You don't know. Like, until that trigger comes up, that's when you're in that moment, like, oh, this is a trigger, like, I'm still affected by it, and then you can continue to work on it. But if you are never triggered, how are you going to work on that?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that was like a really good question, like a deep question to like reflect on. I even went back to my then partner and asked him the same thing. I told him about the question that you asked me. And, you know, so it was a really good one, really deep one, for sure.
Definitely like need to write that down and make sure that's like, I feel like in our stuff that we want to do a relationship question that we could ask people, because just like where they're at as far as like healing in themselves.
I completely agree. And I feel like there were some red flags when I first, you know, got into the relationship. However, again, you want to be in a relationship, you know, you want to be loved and all of the things. So you just kind of like, okay. But this last relationship has definitely taught me, like literally within the past, like last year, I've just like actually am able to verbalize what I want to my partner out loud. And before I couldn't do that. Like I thought about it and I felt it like what I really wanted. But I literally within this last year have been able to verbalize what I want, what my needs are, what my expectations are moving forward. And I think that's a big part for women, because I feel like sometimes we just automatically think that a man is supposed to know. And and they don't know, ladies. They don't fucking know. Nothing. They don't fucking know. Shit. God damn it.
But at the same time, I think that us as women, we're told so much to just swallow it and move on. Yeah, and I think like too. As a young, like as we're growing, because I remember that as a kid, you know, and when I got into relationships, my toxic relationships, especially where they're gaslighting you, they're telling you that you're not valid, all these kinds of things that just solidifies in us that our opinion and our needs and our wants are not, like they don't matter.
Right.
And so here we are as adult women, like trying to be in a relationship, and we're like, I need you to do the dishes. Like, you know, like whatever it is. Like
my therapist shared something with me earlier this week, and because I was just telling her how like I have been angry, like, you know, being diagnosed with cancer and just thinking that certain people are going to be there and they're not, and then coming out of this relationship and him knowing that I have cancer. It was just a lot. I've been holding on to a lot of anger. And I also told her like maybe I have been handling it the wrong way as far as the way I'm expressing it to the people that I love. You know, I can express it in a more effective way. And, you know, she said, I understand, you know, but also that anger and that pain you're feeling is the you that loves you. And that's the part of you that know that you are being mistreated. And it's okay to be angry.
Jeez.
Isn't that, I was like, right. So yeah, and so that's on my last podcast I was talking about just allowing myself to feel everything and not hold anything in, and just like let everything flow, and allowing myself to be sad, allowing myself to be vulnerable in front of everybody, and just taking it one day at a time. But yeah, she said that's some deep shit.
That's powerful.
That was fucking deep. I was like, shit, yeah. You know, crazy. And it's really helping me to even just get over this relationship. In the past, my past relationships, when they were ending, girl, I was tearing shit up. I was mad, like, fuck you, like, you know, like so angry, you know?
Yeah.
And even though I have been angry and I've been kind of like lashing out here and there, I definitely have grown in that area and not like, you know, flattening tires and shit like that. You know, I've definitely gotten better at that. So, but just in that, you know, that growth comes with the therapy and the self-love and, you know, giving yourself that opportunity to grow and wanting to grow and wanting to evolve as a person. And so, yeah. Yay me, I'm proud of myself. Like just how I'm handling everything, and everybody's like, oh, you still have a smile on your face. I'm like, you know what, I do have a smile on my face, but even, you know, I've had to go through those emotions. Just like you text me earlier, you're like, how are you feeling? I said, I have to be honest. I'm not feeling the best, but I have to keep moving forward. You know, so I am proud of myself for just allowing myself to feel.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest things that in your healing process is allowing the sadness and allowing the negatives, you know, because there is such a thing as toxic positivity, which is
oh my
huge.
God, I'm so happy. I'm married and I'm happy. Look at my husband.
Yes, literally.
Look at my car.
Look at everything. Yeah.
They'll really be fucked up on the inside. Like,
yeah.
fucked up. I know some people like that, like, for sure.
Yeah, I have been guilty of that before in my life. Honestly, multiple times,
Really?
Especially like, I think with me creating Learn to Love and trying to be this figure for people that is literally a love. Like I named my company Love.
Yeah.
Everything about love. And sometimes I just don't want to do it, you know, but I'm like, okay, but I have to. And so
it's your
like,
passion though.
Yeah.
So, you know?
It's that balance of like, okay, am I really happy right now? But like, you can also choose happiness, you know? So it's really like, it's just going through it and finding that balance within yourself, you know?
It's definitely all about healthy balance. Like, I'm trying to think. Have I been? Yeah, I've been guilty. Of course, I've been guilty of flexing on Instagram, acting like I got my shit together, and I ain't got shit together at all. At all. So I'm guilty of it as well. I gotta keep it real with myself, okay?
Yeah.
Keep it real with y'all too. Man, social media is a motherfucker.
It's
you
a
gotta,
devil, to be honest.
Man, you know. But that's why I really wanted to start this platform too. It's just to be my authentic self. Like, yeah, you guys see the cute pictures and all that shit, but I'm a real ass bitch going through some real ass shit too. And I'm more than just those little cute pictures with my little titties and ass and showing sometimes.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's more to the story than that. And a lot of people do try and uphold this image on Instagram or on platforms or whatever, but I definitely like want to be real and authentic. And I feel like you're the same. Like, you are definitely like sharing your journey and, you know, everything, and you're very authentic. I think that's one of the reasons why I gravitated towards you for sure.
Oh, I love it. No, yeah, I mean, I've struggled with social media, definitely trying to like fit this mold, especially as a female in the fitness industry. Trying not to just be, I mean, the ass. Like, that's really the biggest thing, you know? Like, that's the easiest way to say that. But that's
everybody loves the ass.
It's just so like it's just so crazy how easy it is. I think about it all the time, like with my company. If I really wanted to just blow,
you just focus on your ass.
All I would have to do is post ass pictures every day,
right? And that's it. But no,
it's just not.
But I love the route that you're going, because it's more authentic and it's genuine, and it really will spark things in other people.
Yeah.
As far as just really loving yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's clearly like what your message is about. It's just like learning to love and really loving yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why God brought us together too, because I mean, I have my self-care company as well. And like, I'm all about the self-care.
Yes.
And honestly, like, I've been manifesting people. Like, people that are on the same energy, on the same, like, business level, just mental, the energy, like, wavelength or whatever you want to call it. Just being on the same everything and, like, really finding my soul tribe. Like, that's my mission right now, is really finding my soul tribe. Like, creating, like, a community of, like, sisterhood. I feel like we don't have that here in Oregon or Portland.
Definitely.
We talked about that our first meeting.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So that was one of the main reasons why we wanted to come up with the Sacred Circle, the women's event, is creating a community for everybody to learn and grow and evolve on every level. Okay? Not just looking good.
Facts. You can't look good on the outside if you ain't good on the inside.
Period. Because I've seen some cute people, but when they open up their mouth and you see who they truly are, they're ugly as fuck.
Yeah.
And I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with you.
You can't fake it if you have a bad soul.
You just cannot. And I've worked on myself so much, and I've come so far. Like, I can tell now. I can just see it on somebody. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go this way. No, thank you. Stay the fuck away from me. Like, I don't even want to deal with those type of people. That fake shit. And then when I do see it, if I'm blindsided and I do see it, I'm just like, okay, good. I learned my lesson. Lesson learned. Goodbye. Like, good day. No hard feelings, but can't do it.
Right.
You know?
No, that's good. I think I've been studying a lot on being an empath. I don't know if I talked to you about this before. But I've realized how much it affected me my entire life. I'm really digging into how powerful that is if you really associate with all the empath qualities.
Yes.
But being able to see people's energy is it's so real if you allow yourself to really open up to that and hone in on those qualities. It's insane.
It really is. And I like one of my objectives with my company too is I want this to be a learning moment for people. Like, people look at like astrology and manifesting, and when you're meditating, all they think like, oh, it's like witchcraft, and that doesn't work, and all of that stuff. And it's like, no, this is real. Energy is real. The moon is real. Like, it's real. You know what I mean? And all of it ties in together, if you want to believe it or not. So I really just want to educate people on that. Because a lot of people think like the shit that I do, they'll see me like burning candles and sage and all the things and with my crystals, and they're like, oh, you're a witch. And it's like, yeah, maybe I am a witch, but guess what? It's call me what you want to, but guess what? I'm getting my insides right.
Right.
Okay? I'm getting my spirit right. Walking with spirit, walking with God, and I believe in God, and that's all that matters. But again, I just want what I'm doing. I want to like just teach people,
Yeah.
Especially like Black people, like from where we come from, like our ancestors. Like, this is it's a part of our history.
It's huge.
It's us.
It's huge, and I feel like it's not taught enough in general. I feel like it, like you said, it has a really negative stigma to it. Just like anything else that people don't really understand, they kind of tend to look at it negatively,
make fun of it and shit
before they look into it. Yeah. But I mean, everything is energy, and I think that's the craziest thing when people don't understand the power of it. A power of manifestation and law of attraction, things like that, is because we're literally made of energy. And like, when science of it, it's really like we come from the earth, like, and so it only makes sense to use the earth and what is around us to be able to push us to where we want to be in life.
Connecting with the earth, like man, like the stuff that I've been reading and researching, like it just talks about connecting back to the earth and like how we need, like, you just look at everything. Like, I was listening to this meditation thing the other day, and it was just talking about look around you, like everything is in abundance, even the trees, the car, everything. There's just a lot of everything, like anything you can just pinpoint, it's just abundant. And you focus on that energy, abundant energy, like I don't see how people don't see it. I don't see how people don't see that. But again, I want to just educate people. And again, you guys can look. We are still in the process of putting everything together. We are looking for sponsorship. We have a couple of sponsors so far. Actually, I want to talk to you about that after the podcast, after the show. But we have some sponsorship. We're looking for more sponsorship. We're looking for a place to host our event. So look out for that. I'm really excited to share that with you. I'm really excited to like keep moving forward and working with Hannah, a like-minded, boss-ass, beautiful woman, magical woman. Again, thank you so much for being here, Hannah.
Thank you.
This was such a moment, a needed moment.
Facts. I feel like we could talk forever. We can have
I know, we can talk forever. We're going over the time. But again, thank you so much for being here. My heart is full. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this show today. Again, Hannah, where can they find you on your platforms?
So I have Instagram right now for Learn to Love Holistics and Learn to Love Queen. You can follow both of those pages. And LearnToLoveHolistics.org is the website that you guys can go onto.
Praise God. And I also want to take a moment to thank my sponsors. Thorn City Syndicates Management and also GMP Podcast Group are my sponsors for this beautiful show. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing as always, for helping me with this production and all of the things. But again, thank you guys so much for joining me today. And remember, drink your water and mind your business. Until next time, ciao. Thank you so much for tuning in today and sharing this sacred space with me. You can catch me on Instagram, Japelle TV Show. Hit me up in my DMs. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time. Ciao.